So we talked about ill and blame, okay, problem and cause. Now we turn to cure and consequences. So in cure, we're thinking in terms of, well, what is your solution? What are you recommending? What is the plan that you support? Then under that, we want to think in terms of solvency and workability. Solvency. Does your solution actually solve for the ill and or the cause? Okay, so is this something that's on point? So let's say I was talking about traffic. Oh, here in Seattle, the traffic is terrible, and it's significant. Here's how many people it slows down. Here's harmful. Here's what it does. It hurts business in so many ways. Why is this happening? We don't have enough east-west corridors in the city proper. Cure. Here's my cure. Everyone should have jetpacks. Ah, yes, that would eliminate traffic problems altogether. We would all have jetpacks and we would fly to our destination. Is that solvent? Well, it's not really getting to the root cause, and it's certainly not workable. Awesome? Yes, without a doubt. I would totally vote for any policy that supported jetpacks. But it's not really getting to the root cause. If we don't have enough east and west corridors, this seems like the implication is the cure would be we need more or better or different east-west corridors, if that's what's driving the problem. So that, that cause and that solution should speak to one another, right? And in so doing, we say your policy is solvent. It's solving for the problem. Beyond that, the question we want to ask of the cure is it workable? Can we actually do it? If it was to build more east-west corridors, is there space? Is it zoned for that? It's great to have an idea, but you've thought through implementation. Is this a solution that actually can be implemented well? Okay? So under cure, I want to know what the plan is, and how is it solvent, and how is it workable? And then that takes us to the last one, consequences. Okay, so under consequences, we can think in terms of social and material consequences. Is it gonna have, if we implement your plan and it's solvent and it's workable, is it gonna do stuff materially in the physical realm? So is this plan going to cost a lot of money, or is it gonna generate some money? Is it going to have social consequences? Is it going to change attitudes for the better or for the worse? So here, and this one, just because we're in the realm of policy, I tend to use more Washington State examples. So here in Washington, we, not too long ago, privatized liquor sales. So up until recently, anytime you wanted to buy a bottle of liquor, you had to go to a state liquor store. Okay, so there wasn't private organizations selling liquor. You had to go to a state liquor store. So all the arguments about whether or not we should do this, it was a popular initiative. And so one of the points of clash, one of the points of contrast was over the material and social consequences of privatizing liquor sales. So those who are opposed to privatizing liquor sales said there will be negative material and social consequences if this bill is passed. Material consequences. It is really going to hurt state finances. The state made a fair bit of money off of selling liquor. So they said this is really going to hurt state finances. Moreover, there will be a social consequence. We'll see more liquor stores opening up, maybe less qualified people checking IDs, perhaps an increase in underage drinking. And so there's negative social interaction that's happening around this increased accessibility to liquor. So that's what those who are against it were arguing. Those who are for the bill also argued that there were positive material and social consequences. They said, well, materially, yeah, the state won't have money, but private industry will. More mom and pops will be able to sell liquor and generate revenue for themselves rather than having the state do it. They said, well, that's not really the state's domain. They shouldn't be in charge of liquor sales. This should be private industry. And so they were arguing for a positive material consequence. So too with positive social consequences. Well, we're getting the state out of something that it shouldn't be in. Right? This is a matter of private commerce, and in the realm of private commerce, we shouldn't have the state interfering. So both sides had approached consequences, implementation, what happens the day after the bill is passed. So as you're moving through these stock issues, ill, blame, cure, consequence, they're going to help you figure out what you want to argue and what you need to argue. Arguing for a change means you probably need to prove most or all of your stock issues, right? If you're arguing for a change, you need to be able to show there's a problem, I know what's causing it, I've got a solution that solves for that problem, and the positive consequences outweigh the negative ones. If you're arguing against change, you could argue against all of those stock issues, or you could really just put all your eggs in one of the baskets, right? So if someone's saying there's a huge problem, and here's what's causing it, and here's how to solve it, the other side could say, it's not a huge problem. It's not a huge problem at all. Why would we waste money on something that's not a huge problem? We'll get to this later, but here we're talking about stasis, clash points, okay? Is there a debate over the very nature of the problem, or over what's causing the problem, or whether or not the policy solves for the problem, or whether or not the policy in solving for the problem has too many negative consequences? But in both, no matter how you're coming into your issue, these stock issues can help you think through the case more deliberately, more carefully, more accurately. So in the next lecture, we'll actually do this. We'll work through a specific case of stock issues and talk about how burden of proof is operationalized there.